Want to again welcome you here. As you've noticed, we have a few different things going on. I usually do not talk from a podium that looks like this, and this is going to be the very first thing that I'm going to talk about. Not very long ago, we lost a very, very dear friend and a fellow thumbpicker, Freddie Russell. And in the quest to find what was going to be the best thing to do to honor Freddie, we talked with Miss Linda, and she said, you know, what about something nice for the center? He loved that center, so we would do that. So what we have that was made possible by Ted Jones in Louisiana, who is also one of the people who made this building and facility possible, was crafted by Will Branch from Louisiana. And pardon me while I set a couple things down. We ended up with the Freddie Russell Memorial Podium. Thank you. We're very, very pleased with this. As you can tell, we'll put on the front of it, you know, a copy of Merle's Martin Bigby guitar. We are in the process now of having plaques made for Freddie, as well as we're going to use it to honor some other players, you know, per request on down the line. So very pleased to have this here, and it also gives me a good place. He made a nice place for awards underneath of it, so I don't have to reach over here. But very pleased to have this. Thank you. Yeah, it's made out of it's a swamp-aged cypress. I don't know how many hundreds of years that this was in the swamp in Louisiana, but was brought back out, and this gentleman keeps all of this material to make these podiums out of. So definitely a very generous gift from Ted Jones and from the craftsman Will Branch also. As you well know, we're going to be celebrating this weekend what would have been the 100th birthday of Merle Travis. So we're going to have a lot of great things going on. Of course, tonight our Hall of Fame induction ceremony and performances. We're going to have a finale concert by Mr. Tom Bresh. Always a great, great show. And we would like to, as always, thank our sponsors. We have this year Greenville and Central City Tourism Commissions, Apex Strings, and I will say they're the best strings I've used, and I'm not just saying it because the owner of the company is here. We have some of those that we're going to give away. I've really tested these strings. Eddie Pennington has, Randy Buckner, a lot of other players. They are phenomenal. If you're a guitar player, get with one of us this weekend on how to pick up these strings. I have some sample sets here as well. Also, can't say enough about Gretsch Guitars. And Paul Mosley, are you under the sound of my voice? That's a no. Okay, let's see. There he is. I asked you a question. Now, well, we're going to give away, since I mentioned it, Paul's Gretsch Guitar. Do we have something behind the curtain we can show, Paul? Yeah, they're opened up right behind me. But Gretsch Guitars is always very generous in, again, sending us prizes for the International Home of the Legends Thumbpicking Championship tomorrow. And you're going to hear some of the greatest players that you'll hear anywhere competing for these prizes. And I think he's still looking back there. Also, some of your door prizes are going to be coming from Gretsch as well. We have some hats, we have some t-shirts, a couple shoulder bags, different things. So, again, very generous. Paul, have you left the building with that guitar? There's a lot of Gretches back there. That's mine. No, check this out. Fairlane Blue, Gretsch G5420T. Is that not a gorgeous instrument? And that will go to the runner-up of the International Home of the Legends Championship. As you know, we have a playoff between the traditional category and the contemporary category, unless we have someone who wins both categories, such as we've had a couple times with Roger Harden, Parker Hastings, and then again last year with Caitlin Preboy. And Bella Spielman took home a Gretsch guitar last year as well as a runner-up. It is, and you cannot have it. So let's see what else we've got. While Paul's grabbing that other Gretsch, I've mentioned Greenville and Central City Tourism. Also, we have to mention Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance Companies and Pogue Automotive Group. If you buy a lot of things here this weekend, if you take home a bunch of strings, if you happen to win a guitar, you might as well get a new car to take it all home with. Pogue down the road is a great place to buy vehicles, and I will say, all kidding aside, they have been a wonderful supporter of this community. They support every local event that they can, and you know, just can't thank them enough. Without all those sponsors, we could not do this. And here comes Paul. This is the grand prize. Feel free to model that for us, Paul. Yeah, he don't want us. He hadn't even seen that one yet because he said, "What's it look like?"
I seen it in the dark.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, this
That is a Gretsch 6120 Players Edition. Tiger Maple. He made me say Tiger Maple.
It's a little thinner than the standard 6120.
Yes, yeah, the regular 6120, like the regular, or even the CGP model or the standard 6120 is a little thicker. This is a thinner guitar. Go ahead.
Yes, this has the through the bar string Bixby instead of the little pins, strings and the Bixby.
Yeah, string through Bixby is what Paul's saying on it, which to those of you who have ever strung a guitar with a Bixby tailpiece on it, the string through Bixby is a lot easier. You don't have to wrestle with wrapping a string around and hooking it on the pins. It is pretty. You're entering tomorrow, aren't you, Paul? I had someone call about 3 weeks ago while we're getting into it, and they have so many great phone calls about the competition and about the weekend. And someone asked, they said, it's going to be, the first time I've been there in a long time. Who are some of the people that are going to enter this year? And we try not to withhold a lot of information. And I said, well, I know this year we're going to have Doyle Dykes is coming on Saturday, and he's talking about going ahead and entering the contest. We're going to have Richard Kaiser entering this year, Eddie Pennington, Paul Mosley. So, and they were just like, "You're kidding." I said, "Yes, I am." So, but anyway, thank you again to Gretchen. That's for the International Thumbpicking Championship tomorrow. And of course, Saturday night we have our finale concert featuring Doyle Dykes, and you're going to also see John Knowles, Pat Kirtley, Evan Twitty, Randy Buckner. I think I already mentioned Eddie Pennington, Doyle Dykes, and several others. It's going to be a great, great night. And again, it's going to be a Happy Birthday Merle celebrating 100 years. So we're going to be focusing the whole show on getting back to where this all started, to Merle, without a doubt. Also want to encourage you to go over to Paradise Park through the weekend. There's been a lot of work going on over there. The park looks great. The buildings are going to be open. So I want to encourage that. And tonight we want to mention as well the Pizza and Picking Party at the Super 8 in Central City. Whenever we finish here, people head over to Central City to eat pizza and listen to some picking up until about 2 in the morning. I generally don't get to go because Michael Mosley and I are both here working on the center getting it ready for you tomorrow. At this time, I would like to call, before we get into our main program, the Director of Central City Tourism Commission, Freddie Mays, to the stage, and he has some special words he would like to share with you. Thank you, Freddie. Freddie is one of the gentlemen who have helped make this event possible through the sponsorship of Central City Tourism, and we're greatly appreciative of that. If you have not been to the tourism office, he can give you some of the hours. They have a new museum there, and it is fantastic, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about that before he gets into his presentation. Freddie Mays.
Thank you, sir. Let me go on and mention the museum and kind of the specifics there. Our music heritage in Muhlenberg County is phenomenal. And for us to think about any one of the entities that are honored in the museum would be sufficient to make us proud of our county. But we have so many people. And the ranges from rock and roll to classical jazz and ballads, and then down to thumbpicking, which is what we're here to recognize tonight. So I would encourage you, if you can have an opportunity, come to our museum. We're open every day, Monday through Friday from 9 until 4. And then if you need to come on the weekend, want to come on the weekends, or after hours, I'll be happy to accommodate that the best I can. Particularly if we have a little bit of advance notice and we can make arrangements to have someone there to host the museum. But we have a lot of memorabilia, a lot of photographs, a lot of things that pay honor and pay tribute, to our music heritage in the county. So come and visit us. I think you'll be happy that you made the visit. I've been in this position now a little over a year, and in that year we've had guests now from 15 countries and 35 different states to come to the museum. So if you're in the county and you've not been there, you're missing a treat. Just yesterday we actually hosted a tour group from Scotland. They were on a bus trip and came from Nashville up to spend the day with us, and we're right back to Nashville after that. So come visit our museum. We'd love for you to do that. My purpose in coming tonight, though, is not to talk about the museum. My purpose is to make an announcement concerning what's a recent event in our community, and one that's of particular interest to those in this meeting tonight. We honor thumbpicking. We're the home of thumbpicking. And although the art started here, it now reaches all over the world. And I want to thank the National Thumbpicker Hall of Fame for the opportunity to come and make this announcement. In 1992, Four Legends Fountain was created, or was actually constructed in Drexboro. And it honors the legends of thumbpicking. It honors Kennedy Jones and Mose Raker and Ike Everly and Merle Travis. Well, in the last few years, time and the elements have kind of taken its toll, and that fountain, that park, had kind of fallen on hard times. Well, a member of the Jones family, the Kennedy Jones family, came to visit the museum back a few months ago. And he came and said, we'd love to see that renovated. And so through the efforts of that family and others in our community, that renovation is now complete. So I'm happy to be able to announce to you that as of today, come by Four Legends Fountain in Drexboro and visit the fountain. I think you'll be pleased with the appearance and also the information that is gathered, or that is actually the information that's there. You'll see about thumbpicking, what it is, and you'll read about the history of those four legends and their contribution to this great art. So come and visit. Now, I want to say also, this would not have been possible had it not been for first the suggestion and then the funding of the Kennedy Jones family. And members of that family are here tonight, and so I know you can't see them, but if you guys would just raise your hand, we'd love to recognize the Jones family for the suggestion and for funding this project. So let's give them a nice round of applause. I also want to acknowledge the historian who actually put the information together that you'll see on the historical marker that's there. Barry Duval, of course, writes in our community about things that take place all the time, but particularly with the musical heritage, and Barry is here tonight. Let's give him a hand as well. And finally, for the city of Drexboro, you know, this, the fountain is located in Drexboro, and the city council and all their administration, they were incredibly helpful in working together to make this project go forward. And again, we think it's something you should be proud of. It'll be fun to visit. It's a part of our heritage, not just in thumbpicking, but of all the music heritage in our county. So make it a point. Anytime you can get to that park, day or night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, go by and visit that park and help us to continue to remember the significance of Muhlenberg County relative to being the home of thumbpicking for all of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Freddie. Again, he's done some great work, and again, I as well want to thank the Jones family and the Martin Foundation. If you get an opportunity over the weekend at some point in time, definitely go check that fountain out. It's been, of course, reconditioned and revamped. It is beautiful. It looks very worthy of the name Four Legends Fountain. It's very nice. At this point in time, I would like to call Mr. Paul Mosley out to the stage. We're going to get into our regular program this evening. We'll let him get plugged up. Sure. Yeah, you can go ahead and get ready. You'll be seeing a lot of this guy over the weekend. He's my right-hand man, along with Eddie Pennington and Scott Taylor on the board as well. And of course, we cannot forget by any means the ladies in the lobby: Marilyn Kirtley, Marilyn Bedell, Regina, several others selling the shirts, greeting people, saying hi. You know, stop by and tell them you appreciate what they do, because there are a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that helps keep this going. Time we'd like for you to rise for the playing of the national anthem.